Hi, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind Group page. And today we're talking about how to get a contract re-signed. So in today's video, we got 4 tips that'll help you get the new location agreement re-signed. And we're going to give you 3 today in the video, and we're going to have 1 for the exclusive ATM Mastermind Group page. So always remember, it's free to join. Just go to the ATM Mastermind Group page and ask to join, and we'll accept you. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing that I do is I usually look at the location agreements and I quickly identify when they're going to come to expire. We usually sign 5-year agreements, and usually in about 3.5 to year 4, I start to look at and say, okay, this agreement is going to expire. And so I start to build that rapport back with the owner. Usually what happens is we get the contract signed, we go in a location, we're all excited about it, we put our ATM in, and then we start doing our day-to-day routine of filling the ATM, okay? Sometimes we see the owner and sometimes we don't. But after we have more than one ATM in our route, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get into that location and out of the location as quickly as possible. And the relationship kind of cools off a little from the beginning when you were there all the time. So we realize this, and what we want to do is we want to build this relationship back up, okay? So now we want to say, okay, we got about a year time to build a relationship back up, and we're going to go in there, not necessarily when we're filling the ATM, but on off times and talk to the owner. Sometimes in the process, the owner also isn't there like they were in the beginning. They've switched to a different time. It might not be the same time that we fill the ATM. There might be a bunch of reasons, but what we're going to try to do is to build that relationship back up, find out when that owner is there, find out when I can talk to the owner or when we can meet with them more, and we're just shooting a breeze, re-engaging in that relationship. And we know that once that relationship I think of it kind of like a pot of spaghetti where I'm boiling water and I'm going to add that spaghetti into it. So we want to let that water boil up to the top, and then as soon as it's ready up to the top, then we're going to add our spaghetti, or we're going to get them to sign that new agreement. Okay? So the first thing that we do is after we build up that relationship is we go ahead and we just ask. We built the relationship up. We're back on the same page where we were in the beginning of our relationship. And now what we do is we're going to ask. How do we ask? This is what we say. Say, hey, I noticed our paperwork is a little outdated. We want to get some new paperwork in the situation. They usually say, oh yeah, no problem. And you're going to say, hey, I need a new W-9, maybe an agreement with the bank. Maybe they've changed banks and we've made the change, but now we're going to formalize all that process. And then we're going to have the new agreement there. They usually just sign it. They won't have any kind of issue because you've done such a good job over the course of the last 3 to 4 years, okay? This just gives me an added sense of security. I know I'm gonna stay there for the next 5+ years. So again, it's just as simple as build their relationship up and then ask for them to sign the agreement. So that's the first thing that we do. Point 2 is if they go a little sideways on that, we ask them to sign the agreement and they kind of push back, then we say, okay, no problem. We're going to continually build that relationship. Obviously, the water wasn't boiling like we thought it was. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to get that water to boil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to entice them a little by saying, you know what? We have this new equipment, this new ATM with these bells and whistles, and it's nicer, it does this, it does that, whatever the case is. It has a nice new signage. We can put your logo on the front, and I would start talking about the new product and getting them excited about that. I usually give them a little pamphlet of what the new ATM looks like, and then I get them excited about the process of that new ATM. Then when I do that and they're all excited, it's like, oh, you know what? I thought about it. I want that new ATM. I want to get that. I think it would look great over here. I like the new signage. I want to put my logo on the ATM. I like that. And then you say, okay, no problem. Here's what we need to do is I need some new additional paperwork to get that new ATM. And what I do is I leverage their excitement for the ATM to get them to sign new paperwork. Again, we still have a year left on the agreement, but I'm just gonna get it a little earlier so to ensure that I'm staying there another 5 years. So what we're doing is we're gonna get them excited about the equipment. Now, point number 3 is I built up that relationship. I asked for them to re-sign their agreement, and they pushed back on this. We talked about the new ATM. They're really not excited about the new ATM. They don't really care. Their ATM's an ATM. They might say, I'm happy with what I got. So at that stage of the game, I don't usually do anything. I just let we put a auto renewal on all our contracts, so it just auto renews, and then we start the process again, usually in 2 more years. So in year 3 of the auto renewal, I'll start trying to do point 1 and 2 again in this situation to try to get them to sign a new agreement. These steps usually always work, but in case they don't, we have a 4th point that we're gonna tell you in the ATM Mastermind group page that'll really seal the deal and help you get that extension on the agreement that you have. Okay? If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can always go to the ATM Mastermind group page where we have additional tips and tricks to help you grow your ATM business. Thank you very much.